Hello students, welcome back to our e-class of St. Joseph's Academy, class 3rd. Subject is Social Studies and the topic we are covering today is chapter number 18, part 3, Environment and Pollution. Students, in part 1 we studied about air pollution, in part 2 we studied about water pollution. Let's have a quick revision of water pollution, which is part 2. In water pollution, we studied what is water pollution, that the contamination of water is known as water pollution. Then what are the effects of water pollution? The effects are very bad, like the healthy body cannot survive if the water is contaminated. We will not be having a healthy body. The depletion of aquatic animals or aquatic life and other activities, the effects like global warming is being caused due to air pollution. The temperature is increasing for air pollution also. And in water pollution, what happens? In water pollution, if we are swimming in contaminated water or if we are drinking contaminated water, we can have rashes on our skin as well. Then what were the measures for water pollution? We should not throw rubbish or anything in the water bodies like oceans, rivers, seas, etc. We should not keep the tap running if we are using the water. We should not keep it running. We should close the tap if we are brushing, if we are bathing, or even if it's advisable not to take a shower but bath by using a bucket, because the water is not being wasted in that case. Do not wash clothes near water bodies and do not spill oil or any other contaminated water into the water bodies. Use closed and covered dustbins to throw the garbages. Right? So this is the quick revision of what we studied in water pollution. Now comes the next topic, which is land pollution. Students, what is land pollution? Land pollution, can anyone tell me what is land pollution? What is land pollution? Yes, when land pollution means the destruction of earth's surface, like the soil, and directly or indirectly, and as a result of human activities. How? When we are destructing the soil, we are cutting trees, the soil is being destructive and earth's surface is being destructive. We are making new buildings and everything. We are not taking care of the earth. And it is destructive from human activities that causes land pollution. The destruction of earth's surface is land pollution. Destruction means when you are not taking proper care of the earth and you are wasting it. Destruction of earth's surface. Cutting of trees. When we are cutting trees, that is deforestation, causes land pollution. The industries and construction companies produce lot of waste, which is being dumped and not being disposed properly. It is if we are cutting trees and some leaves are there which we cannot use or which is not in our use, we just dump it somewhere at roadside and anywhere. That is causing land pollution. The big industries, if they are using anything to bind the materials, like if they are using ropes, if the ropes are being destructive, means if it is not in use anymore, they just dump it at roadside or anywhere they feel like. If the land is being barren, they just dump it there. That is land pollution. We are polluting the land. This is another reason of land pollution. It means other than us, the destruction of land takes place by deforestation, and by us we are means we are throwing the waste on lands like this only. We are not using covered dustbins or anything. We are just throwing it like this only. That is causing land pollution. Now, what are the effects of land pollution? How does land pollution affect us? Yes, you are right. Land pollution is directly or indirectly connected to us, to our health, to our well-being. But what are the other factors? What are the effects of land pollution? We need to know the effects of land pollution. What are the effects of land pollution? So the upper layer of the soil gets damaged. Means if this is the earth and if the upper layer gets damaged, the soil gets damaged. Right? This leads to loss of fertile land for agriculture. For agriculture, if this land means we have fertilizers in this land, but if this is being damaged, then we cannot grow crops on this land. And we will not be having good crops. Crops does not always means the rich crops, but the basic ones also, like the wheat, the rice, dal, pulses. You won't be having all that, right? So we need to take care of this. When land is polluted, it affects the climate patterns directly or indirectly. If we are not taking care of the land, the climate patterns gets changed. Directly or indirectly, the climate patterns change. Like if we are not taking care of the water or the land, if the water is not being evaporated, how the clouds will form? If clouds are not being formed, rainfall will not be there. If rainfall is not there, it is harmful for our crops. Ultimately, it is affecting us only, right? The contaminated land with toxic chemicals leads to dangerous diseases like skin cancer and human respiratory problems. Like asthma also happens because of air pollution. But land pollution is also the reason for the health respiratory system, human respiratory systems. Like skin cancer can happen if the soil is not if the soil is not accumulated there, it is not bound by the trees and it is loose, the soil is loose, then it will ultimately get driven away by air, and it can go into our eyes, it can harm our skin, it can go into our respiration also, in our mouth also, in our food also. So we need to bind the soil by growing greenery, trees, right? Even the wildlife get affected because of the loss of habitat and natural environment. The natural environment, if there is no natural environment, there is no habitats. Like we are running the campaigns for animals. How? Save tiger, save elephants, like that. We should not, the hunting is banned. Why hunting is banned? Because they are depleting, they are going, right? They are depleting day by day. And we need them to increase. We do not want them to die. If they die, we will not be having a good natural reservoir, right? So this also needs to get solved. Even the wildlife gets affected because of loss of habitat. If there is no good food, if there is no good tree or anything, how will the animals who are herbivorous, how will they feed? If herbivorous won't feed, then omnivorous will also be affected. Carnivorous will also be affected, right? Which eat both animals and plants. If the plants is no more in the environment, then what will they eat? What will we eat? If fruits are not there, if vegetables are not there, what will we eat? That's why it is affected directly or indirectly. What are the effects? The effects are climate is affected directly or indirectly. The effect is directly on climate or indirectly it is on climate. Then wildlife get affected. Wildlife of our of our environment gets affected, wildlife gets affected by this, then upper layer of the soil, then agriculture gets affected. Agriculture also be affected by this, right? So we need to take care of all these things. Now what can we do to stop all these things? What can we do? What is the solution to stop land pollution? We need some solution. Then what is the solution? Solution of land pollution. What is the solution for land pollution? So reduce the use of pesticides and fertilizers and in agriculture use. Reduce pesticides. And not only pesticides, we must reduce the use of fertilizers also. It should be used in a proper quantity, in a proper manner. Then avoid packed items as they generate more plastic. If we are eating packed items, it is coming in plastic bags only. Like if you purchase one packet of chips, then the wrapper is plastic only. Where will you dispose it? And the disposal of plastic is very much difficult. You must all know that. The disposal of plastic is not, the plastic is not being recycled. We cannot reuse or recycle it. So it is harmful for us only. So we cannot reuse it also. So we should not use packed food. Alright? We should use biodegradable products. Biodegradable products, that means which can be reproduced. We can reproduce it. We can bury it and then it will be into the soil and then we can use it. Right? Like if you say we use paper, we use papers. Papers are coming from trees. We are cutting trees, we are making paper, we are making rubbers. What happens? We are cutting trees for our use. We can go directly digital. Just deplete the use of papers. Do everything you want to do digitally. Or you can do it on other than papers. Like we have some jute things also which you can use. Jute bags are there. You can use jute bags instead of plastics also. So ensure not to litter on the ground and proper disposal of garbage. Do not litter on ground. Do not litter. Litter means, very good. Litter means throwing away of garbage. Do not litter on ground. Right? So these are all the topics we need to cover. Like destruction of earth surface should be depleted. That's all we have for today in land pollution. What are the, just have a quick revision. Land pollution is basically the destruction of earth surface. What are the effects of land pollution on us? It is the climate which gets changed directly or indirectly. The wildlife gets affected and the agriculture is not proper. Now what are the solutions for land pollution? We should reduce the use of pesticides. We should avoid packed items, and items for food. Use jute. Do not litter on ground. Just use proper uncovered dustbins. I hope this topic is clear to you. If it is not clear, then you can just write it down in the comment section below, or you can reach out to your social studies teacher and they will explain this topic to you more briefly. Thank you for listening to me very carefully. Have a nice day.